soccer team is 1-0 after a thrilling road win over Baylor. Double overtime, too. And, Coach, before we talk about kind of the intricacies of how that went down, to go on the road and start the season, I know you played some exhibition road games.
Yep.
Was this different? Was it the same as that? Or how was that atmosphere there?
I think it's always different. You know, the exhibition games, although you try to create the same kind of feeling and try to get the same preparation, the girls and our mindset is a little bit more about feeling things out and figuring some things out, and we're still competitive and want to win those games, but it's never the same. In fact, you know, going to Baylor and getting to, you know, spend some time with the team right before, it almost built up the excitement towards the game. So I think we had a pretty heightened excitement before the game, and I really think that reflected our start. It wasn't the best start for either team. To be fair, it was quite frantic and direct and physical, one of the most physical games that I've been a part of. But when the game settled down, you know, both styles kind of got implemented when possible, and it was a good game. Entertaining.
Was it a type of game that maybe felt like a postseason game, or the stakes were a little bit higher? As you said, it was very frantic and intense.
It felt very much like that. Actually, after the game, I had shaken the Baylor's coach's hands, and he said, you know, that felt like a championship game. I'm like, it really did. And the girls gave that kind of quality in terms of intensity and focus, and so it was really great to be a part of it.
So what were you thinking, or maybe going through the team's mind when everyone's fighting so hard? Finally, a goal is scored in the 60th minute, and then they score another one later in that 60th to 70th minute range, and all of a sudden you're tied after so much fighting. Was there any panic or any panic on your team?
It was that moment where you're just, you know, you're like finally one in, but you know, you're kind of still holding on tight, knowing that you got to battle to keep that lead. The girls knew that for sure, but then they scored so quickly after. There's that sense of absolute frustration in the moment. And what a great leadership and sense of maturity on our team to really not, you know, get scored on again 5 minutes later, because you do have that sense of frustration. So after the equalizing goal from them, they just came back and fought, and we actually scored a tremendous goal. The ref called it offside. I would question it. It was a great cross by Christina, and Sienna attacked it full tilt into the back of the net. One of the best goals that we've seen in a long time. They called it offsides, but again, a good maturity, great senior leadership. They just, you know, stuck to the task, went and got a second goal in overtime, and we won the game. But it definitely wasn't easy.
Was it fitting, perhaps, that it was Olivia Chance that scored that goal? You know, one of your great goal scorers, and after all the hard work to start her senior season.
From that perspective, yes, absolutely. There was moments where I felt Liv was very frustrated in the game. They were really trying to take her out of her element and doing it in a way that we don't see very often. So I don't think that she had some of her greatest moments during the game. But that's what a great player does, you know. They can come in when it counts and score good goals, and she did that for us, and we're really proud of her.
How pleased were you with the defense and your goalie? Baylor put up 14 shots. They had some good looks, and only one goal out of those 14 shots.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, a lot of their shots were a little bit more long range, and I thought that Kat managed the goal very well, but there was a lot of balls being pumped into the defenders, and they had to stay very focused to still keep us compact, win the first ball. And then, you know, it was a continually like up and back, and to maintain that for the, you know, the full 90 and then into overtime was very impressive. So really happy with how they played.
So the team is 1-0 after that season opening win at Baylor. When we come back a little bit later, we'll transition into this upcoming home weekend, but ahead we'll sit down with junior Jordan Listro after this on the Denise Schilte-Brown Show.
This is where the legends live, waiting for someone with better innovation. From the brand that reinvented the t-shirt comes the Under Armour Speedform Apollo. This is our rocket ship.
Going into your junior season, last year, after having been through a full season of soccer, what was it like? You had become a little more familiar, but how did your sophomore season go?
My sophomore year, I would say, was a little bit of a sophomore slump. My freshman year, I set really high expectations coming in. I knew that I wanted to try my best to make an impact on the team right away and play as many minutes as possible. And my sophomore year, I was more comfortable with the team, and I felt like I lowered my expectations. And so I'm hoping that this year is better than last year.
So taking away from last season, what have you worked on to get back to that form that you wanted in freshman year?
I had a position change from fullback now to midfield, so it's a different mindset. You have to have a bit of different technique, so sharpen up my technique and try and impact the team in a different way.
Do you like that responsibility now on the offensive end, that you might be more of a creator?
Yeah, I've been more of an offensive player growing up, so I'm used to being in the attack, and I like it a lot better.
Last year, got to the conference championship game, made the NCAA tournament, very successful season. But do you guys build on maybe the frustration of losing in the first round?
Definitely. I think that we could have made it further last year, but this year we have new players. We have a lot of returning players that have been around that are definitely impacting players, so I think we should have a better season this year and definitely learn from the loss last year.
A lot of players are back. Do you feel like this could be a really special season?
For sure. I mean, the majority of our starting lineup is seniors and a couple juniors, so I think that we definitely have a good team to start with.
Once again, Tampa General Hospital is proud to be named the #1 hospital in Tampa Bay by U.S. News & World Report and recognized as one of America's best hospitals in 4 specialties: cardiology and heart surgery, nephrology, orthopedics, and urology. #1 in Tampa Bay, again, and one of America's best. Tampa General Hospital, trusted for our expertise, chosen for our care.
Looking for an individual or family health care plan? Or maybe a dental policy? Look no further than the Tampa Florida Blue Centers in West Shore, Carrollwood, and Pinellas Park. For more information, go to floridablue.com or call the number on the screen.
Well, Coach, we just talked with Jordan Listro, and I know she's been such an integral part of this team since stepping on campus. Has played in nearly every game for you. What makes her so valuable to your team?
You know, it's funny you should say that, but that's one of the things, is that Jordan does not want to be on the bench. She will fight and claw and do everything it takes, you know, to be on the field for us, and she's very selfless. It's not about the position she plays, it's about being a part of it and being the best that she can be and bringing as much as she can to the team. She's a very special personality. She brings a lot of team chemistry to us. She's a loving, kind, sweet girl, and we love having her on the team. She's a great person. She was tremendous this season. She was great last season, but this year she's really adding something to our midfield. She's like the absolute hammer in the midfield. You know, she tackles very hard. She's aggressive in the air. She covers a lot of ground, and then she's technical on the ball. So she's very special on and off the field, and we're excited about Jordan.
And how much does that help? You talked about the chemistry, because you have such a strong senior class, and then you add in Jordan, some other people who have played a lot for you. Just seems like a very tight-knit group.
It is, yeah. The junior class, you know, really competitive with that senior class for impact and maturity, and we're really transitioning them into some leadership roles as well. So you want to keep that future bright, and I think Jordan and Letitia and a lot of the juniors are really what's going to make us great in the future as well.
All right, so we're sitting here.
Yes.
This is kind of unfamiliar for this year because you haven't played a game yet, but to start the home slate off this upcoming weekend with 2 games, how exciting is it to play in front of the home fans?
It's very exciting. It's not unfamiliar, very familiar. This is home for us. Love Corbett Stadium. So blessed, you know, for the Corbetts to build the stadium. It's amazing. You feel a sense of ownership when you come here. The level of excitement goes up. The crowd is great. We love our goal mouths. You know, not many people can say that they have a fan club like ours dedicated just to their soccer teams, and they show up in numbers, and they're quite a force. Our benches are, unique, and you can only get those in the Premier League. So it's really one of the best stadiums in the country, and we're just excited to be back at home and to showcase in front of our people.
It is a big weekend with 2 games, and something that's kind of unique and maybe tough from a logistical standpoint. You have a Friday afternoon game and then a Sunday morning game. So how do you kind of prep for that? I know you want to focus on winning that first one, but how do you still maintain everyone's rest and getting them ready for that Sunday turnaround?
Well, it was a change for us. We did want to play that Friday night, but playing a little bit earlier made it possible to get more fans in the stands. So we're really hoping that our fans stay for the game and we get a great turnout. And I think, one of the things about playing back-to-back game, that's just women's soccer. Most teams in the country are playing Friday, Sunday. We've made a career out of playing on Friday, Sunday. So it's just very, very important, your recovery, the buy-in from the players and how we handle that. I think often the team that recovers the best is going to get the advantage going into the Sunday game.
Well, we'll see what happens this weekend. Should be an exciting one. And we'll see you out here at Corvette Stadium, right?
Right here.
Friday at 5:30 and then Sunday at 10:30. Going to be a big weekend of women's soccer. Hope you can join us. Thanks for watching this edition of the Denise Schilte-Brown Show.
Go Bulls!